Rare phrase coming out of my mouth. Thank you, IRS, for finalizing your publications so that I can finish the payroll file. Just checking in with everyone who would like a small business payroll file in Excel. You're going to get it, and you're going to get it soon. So I'm now putting it up for sale. We're in testing mode, and a lot of this video, I'm going to show you how I create a file for your business relatively quickly with this big, huge file that has all 50 states in it. We'll show you how we do that, and we're also going to talk about some of the most obvious changes for the new year. So, like I said, to start the video, thank you, IRS, for finalizing your draft and making this thing public and ready to go, and the law of the land for the new year for 2024. I've read through it, and they actually didn't really make any changes from the draft version. I always complain that they do. They didn't seem to do that this year and kept everything the same, which means we were able, at least I didn't see any real significant differences when I read through everything. So it looks to be the same what was out in the draft. This was released about 2 days ago. I made a video saying that it wasn't ready. On that day, apparently they released the final version, so way to be responsive. So let me talk about what's changed, and then the question that you're going to have for me when you want a copy of this file. It's $175. That's the price I'm putting on the 2024 file. If you've already purchased one from me in a previous year, the renewal is only going to be $150. I'll give you 25 off, and I'll get you your file for this year. But for new clients, it's $175. And I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to probably get on the phone with you because it's real easy to talk about it over the phone. And I'm going to ask them, say, what state are you in? And you're going to be like, I have employees only in Kansas. And I'll be like, okay. And we're going to make all of our employees only in Kansas. How many employees do you have? Do you have 10 or less throughout the year? Does that include, when you might let people go and hire new people? Actually, I have about 10 now, but I might get up to about 20 by the end of the year, 20 or 25. Oh, do you need 20 or 25 slots? Okay, no problem. I'll create the area for you. And I'm going to do it in 3 different areas because it's not as simple as just inserting these rows like you see me doing it right now. There's a little bit more that I have to do to make it fully functional with the number of employees that you want, but we will eventually get there. And I'm showing you how we quickly create some more slots here on this first interface page. That brings us down to what, 27? We only need 25. So we'll just delete these 3. And there, like I said, there's a few other places I have to add that information in. But these are the questions that I ask you. How many employees? What state are you in? Because I'm going to get this to look just the way you need it to look for only your business and your situation. It actually doesn't take very long, even though it's taking a long time to process right now. That's because we're working with the big, huge 50-state version that's got everything in it. Now, when I asked you, are you in Kansas? Are any employees, they living in Missouri or they living in other states? You could say, oh, actually, yeah, I do have an employee or 2 that lives in Missouri. So can you leave Missouri tax rates in there along with Kansas? I'll be like, sure. We'll get rid of everything else other than Missouri and Kansas when it comes to unemployment and when it comes to states, because all you need to see are Kansas and Missouri. No problem. We'll do that too. So that you can look at less, right? You don't need any of this. You might need some workers' comp rates. You're going to have unemployment rates given to you by the state that you put down here. And then you've got all your employee information. You don't have any employees in Arizona or Connecticut. You don't have any paid family leave or state disability in Kansas. I don't know about Missouri, but I'm assuming you don't in Missouri as well, although I would look that up. You need to choose a filing status for your employees. This is starting to tell you what you need to do. You can type the letter of the state and you see the 2 that are available for that state, Kansas single, Kansas married. You're going to fill out W-4 information here. You're going to fill out employee information about the employee if you want to, and any PTO hours, if you have PTO hours earned, your employee hire date, a lot of stuff that you can add in here as much as you want, right? You can enter in your employees' hours by day or by project. It's all done in this sheet. You just simply choose the employee's name from the drop-down menu, and you put the day and you put the number of hours and whatever. It's really easy to do, and it rolls all the way forward to your main sheet where you have every single payroll paycheck for your employee. Other questions I'm going to ask you is I'm going to say, hey, what's your pay frequency? Do you pay weekly? Do you pay bi-weekly? Where you only have 26 pay periods in the year because you pay every 2 weeks? Do you pay semi-monthly perhaps? Meaning on like the 5th and the 20th of every month, or the 1st and the 5th to 15th and the last day of every month. There's a lot of different ways that you might pay your people. This file is set up, once I adjust these variables for you and set you up for the whole year, it can do everything really, really quickly. When was the first paycheck date of the year? That's the pay date where the paycheck says this date on it. When was the first one for 2024? Did it happen on, do you pay your people on Friday or something? Did it happen on the 6th? If it did, how many days after the pay period do you issue your paycheck? Meaning, do people stop working on Sunday, or maybe people stop working on Saturday and then you pay them the following Friday, recording their hours? However it works, we change these variables in here so that it matches your pay cycle, because all the pay periods are going to match this. That's what's going to happen, is it's going to reorient everything to put a proper date in there. And these ones that are in December, do you have that in there? The answer is, I think I put 2023. Yeah, it's 1/6/2024. And now it will work. Now it starts to understand what the pay cycle was. It's really cool. It corrects itself when you have any issues. You really start to figure out exactly what's going on. So let's make this a bi-weekly pair for a second. Bi-weekly. Watch how all of the pay periods just changed. They now are 12/31/114 instead of what it was when it was weekly, which is like 1/6, right? Go back to weekly. So this, 1/7/114. It's so dynamic. It's awesome. And those are the kind of questions I'm going to ask you so that I can get this file exactly for you the way that you need. Like, you don't need any of the other states if you just have Kansas and Missouri. That means Alabama, Arkansas. Look at how slow this is going. There's so many. California, Colorado, Connecticut. Look at how many formulas there are for Connecticut. DC, Delaware, Georgia, which changed to a flat tax this year. Hawaii, Iowa, Idaho, Illinois. You don't need any of these. You just need, there's Kansas. You do need Kansas. So you'll be able to delete and get rid of all this and shrink this file down so it's a lot easier for you to use. And we're going to leave Missouri in here as well and get rid of the other ones. This is the process I go through, why I ask you those questions, so that you can have everything exactly how you want it. You get to get rid of all these other states, because we've got, like I said, this is a full 50-state version. With this main version, you can do payroll for any employee in almost any situation in any state. And when I say almost any situation, what I mean is that you're going to have certain types of employees that might be on certain visas. You might have non-resident employees that don't have some of their taxable by federal and Social Security. I haven't built in non-residents into the main file specifically, but I have done that for clients before. So if you have that situation, or if you have agricultural employees that are on a different type of cycle, or household employees, all those things can be accounted for in here. I just haven't built a column for them and connected them to the formulas, but I can do that if you need it. It's not that difficult. I've gone through the complete publication 15 and gone through every single scenario that's on here and read through them. And they're all part of the same logic of algebra that's already in the file. Meaning, you look at all these different exclusions about how you handle certain types of income in this table here, special rules for various types in the publication 15. It's going to show you all the types of income you could have and whether or not they're subject to federal, Social Security, or unemployment. And we've got many of them covered in the file. Of course, we don't have all of them labeled specifically, but whatever is affecting your business, we can easily get it in here. Can easily put it in here and add it to this area so that you understand exactly how you're paying your people and what type of employee they are by calling them a non-resident or whatever in this main file. So this thing is, those are the questions I'm going to ask you, and then you're going to be able to create pay stubs. Boom, just like that, with everything you need. Kansas state tax was this, $92. If it's correct, it probably is. This is the new federal rate for the new year. 2024 rates are in here. Your quarterly reports, you just choose the quarter. Bam, you get it. Shows all your employees. And then we need to expand this out to show 25 more employees, which we can do that. Once we do another like 15 here, is one of the ways that we expand to give you every slot that you need. But those, like I said, those are the questions that I'm going to ask you. And I'm going to set up all your state reports. Over here, it's already set on Kansas. You don't need to see any of these other things, so actually just get rid of them if they don't apply to your state so they don't confuse you. But you have all your reports. You can look at them by quarter, or you can look at them by month. If you're a monthly payer, you just choose the month from the drop-down menu, you get that. Or you just choose the one single pay period. And if you show just the pay period, you get the report for just the pay period right here. You get W-2s already filled out for the year. You have a dynamic pivot that shows all of your employees that you can restructure everything and look at everything by quarter or by pay date. All the things you need to pay, including unemployment. State UI is on here as well, and FUTA tax. Everything's on here. This payroll file, 1099s, if you use that, you can enter 1099 people information in there. It's got everything you could possibly want. And it's totally modular. So I'm now responding and taking orders, and while I'm still testing all the formulas, because I just started verifying all this, and there aren't a lot of public sources to run this against yet because everyone else just got the final numbers too. So a lot of the places I'll go to check, like Paycheck City is a fantastic resource for checking pay stub scenarios. I'm going to start running that here over the next week when they allow you to look at their 2024 iteration of their formulas. I don't think they're functional yet. I don't know who's functional yet. This is going to be one of the first videos of anyone to make a 2024 functional simulator because they've just finalized the rates within 48 hours, basically. So that you can only get it done so fast. So we've got it here, and I will send you the preliminary copy that I'm using to test. And then when I'm comfortable that everything is looking good and all the states have been updated and your situation is good to go, I'll send the final version here right before the beginning of the year so that you can get started entering in your employees, especially if you're rolling forward this from last year. Then you need to add all your employees and make sure that everything's accurate for them for the new year and restructure their hourly rates in the main file as well. So that's another thing that you have to do, is make sure that everyone's lined up with their hourly rates next. And if they're on salary commission and you put that number here, you have to prepare that as well. So there's a lot of getting ready for the new year, but I wanted you all to know that, well, 2024 is final. There are no more excuses. So you can follow the links and purchase a copy, and I will get in touch with you. If you're a new client, or if you're one of the previous clients that's just looking for an update this year, I'll be getting in touch with everybody and getting these versions out to you. The Excel copy first, and then I'll look into the Google Sheets after the Excel is finalized and tested, and I don't see any problems with it. All right, good luck, everyone. Payroll should be easy. Check out the links below to purchase a copy or contact me if you want to renew. Payroll is going to be easier this year. It's getting easier with AI. And one more thing, actually. So when you get this file the first day or so, I'm very responsive in updating this for you and trying to answer all your questions and get you ready to go right away. That's what I like to do, is get you going, have you feel comfortable with it, and then everything should be pretty smooth sailing from that point out going forward. Well, I know that oftentimes when you're using this file throughout the year, you might screw something up. You might have a new situation or an instance that you don't know how to handle. Some numbers might not be tying out and you just can't figure out what's going on, and you want to ask me for help. So I'm offering 3-month packages of that, meaning I understand that you're going to want to go through a quarter of using this file, get the quarter reporting out and accurate, and really get in a rotation of understanding exactly how this works and feeling comfortable that you're in control of your business's payroll. But once you get the hang of it, you'll start to feel really confident, because it's a smart enough file that it pinpoints when you haven't entered in something correctly, and things become very obvious when you're trying to get this to be accurate. So what I'll say is that for $90, I will offer this 3-month assistance plan throughout the year, where you can send me questions, and if you need help proofreading your file or answering questions that are basic, I will do it while it's part of that $90 3-month assistance plan. And I'll bill those in 3-month increments. So if you just need help at the beginning of the year and then you're good to go, you don't need to pay anymore. If you're someone who is more hands-on with this and runs into more problems or want to contact me more frequently, then you'll want to renew every quarter that $90. But I'm trying that out this year because usually I just do it and don't charge anybody. And then I get an onslaught of requests from people that purchased files a long time ago. I have to sell that time. I want to keep everything updated. And with the use of AI, I sense that this payroll application it's going to become much more dynamic than it ever has in the past. It's getting too easy to keep this thing as current as it needs to be when new legislation is issued, because AI can help read the tables. I mean, I had the artificial intelligence break out the tables and update my formulas for me and check them. And then I did it myself just to double check, but it did a great job once I started asking it the correct questions. That saved me a tremendous amount of time and eliminates normal human fat finger or transposition typing errors. It just doesn't do it the same way. So this is a product that I'm proud of. It helps a lot of people out. It gives you control of your payroll, and it's going to keep getting better. Like if you need this thing to automatically print out pay stubs for everybody and name a PDF file with the name of the employee and the pay period, it can do that. I've written a macro to do that, and I can add that to your file for an extra charge, but I can do it. And you can just start to make this process so automated now. It's really fascinating. All right, so that's the update. We're ready to go. Product's available for sale, and those who have bought it, you're going to be hearing from me. And those who want to buy it, you're going to be hearing from me as well. All right, good luck. Payroll should be easy. We are making it so.